Hello, everybody. Great evening, great afternoon, great morning, whenever it is you do watch these videos. Welcome back to another a prophetic nature video. I give you my word that the next video after this one, I will do what I've been I've been promising to get you guys and gals for the video continuation on this John chapter 4. And solely because I just got this beauty, I just got this gem through the mail. I don't know, I guess last week sometime. It's a book that I have mentioned, I guess a couple of times that I had while I was in the feds. It's the Evolution Handbook book. Okay. This is a very, very cool book. I had obtained this book for free though when I was in the feds, and it's a very, very cool book. I went through a lot of it when I first had it, and there's just all these quotes from different scientists, probably scientists that we've never heard of, that kind of stuff. But here's the deal: if you're a Christian and or a Catholic, of any religion, and you believe in evolution, what faith do you really have? Because evolution pretty much teaches that there is no creator, that we all just somehow by chance evolved out of the gene pool. Not me, but there are people, a lot of people out there, mostly Christians, Catholics, whatever, and that they believe in this kind of thing, but I don't. I don't believe that we evolved from monkeys. Maybe you guys. I didn't. Okay. Even though sometimes we can probably all agree that sometimes animals prove themselves to be smarter than we are, huh? They know. I think it's like Jeremiah said, or I can't remember the prophet that said that the animals know their maker. The animals do things by instinct, and us, we're still hard-headed people. We still can't figure it out, and we're dumb. We do a lot of dumb things deliberately, knowingly, and willingly. And it's like we can sit here and discuss this whole book if I had read all of it, and say things like, you never see, apart from dogs and cats, right? But you don't see like animals stealing from each other, or fighting or cussing at each other. Us humans, we do that almost every day, right? We've all partaken in a family feud. But animals, they probably look at us and they're like, but anyways. So yeah, people, if you believe in evolution, then obviously your faith has not taught you anything, if you ask me for my opinion. Okay. But anyways, so yeah, if you believe in evolution, you don't believe in a creator, even though even if our Father's name was God, it just doesn't make any sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover just a few small section here. It's got about 10 quotes, and these statements are made, I don't know by whom, but I remember reading. Oh, there are some quotes here from people. I'll give you guys the names. Okay, so I've mentioned these quotes a few videos back on evolution, and if you pay attention, it sounds like a kid. Not the grammar is all right, but it sounds like a kid wrote this. So that tells me it doesn't take a genius to figure out that evolution is just that, is a theory. Okay, notice how these statements are being worded. Okay, this is from this book here, the Evolution Handbook. I really wanted to get this out of the way, and like I said, I'll get you that next video on the next one on the topic that I was talking about. This is coming from this book, This is from thrift store. I ordered online. And it says here, permission is hereby given. Oh, excuse me. At 7:30 in the afternoon. It says permission is hereby given to anyone to translate part or all of this book into a foreign language for sale or free distribution. Everyone needs to know the truth. Okay, so I'll start reading these to y'all, and y'all can just either roll your eyes or act surprised or just roll your eyes and not care. I don't care what y'all think about this. Okay, this is from page 71, and it's called The Big Bang Explosion. It says the Big Bang Theory is based on theoretical extremes. It may look good in math calculations, but it can't actually take place. A tiny bit of nothing packed so tightly together that it blew up and produced all the matter in the universe. Seriously now. This is a fairy tale. It is a bunch of armchair calculations and nothing else. It is easy to theorize on paper. The Big Bang is a theoretical extreme, just as is a black hole. It is easy to theorize that something is true when it has never been seen and there is no definitive evidence that exists or ever happened. Let us not mistake Disneyland theories for science. Low blow. Okay. Remember, people, there was nothing there, and all of a sudden, this nothing compacted together and exploded. Number 2, nothingness cannot pack together. In other words, there is nothing right now, people. Let's describe the universe here, because this is what they're describing to you. There is nothing right there in that nothingness. Does that make sense? Okay. Nothingness cannot pack together. It would have no way to push itself into a pile. What would push it together? What would cause it to ignite? And what would cause it to explode? There, like it says here, there is no match, there is no ignition, there is no detonator, nothing like that. 3, a vacuum has no density. It is said that the nothingness got very dense, and that is why it exploded. But a total vacuum is the opposite of total density. Even that makes sense to me, even though I got B's and C's when I was in school in science. Caliente. There would be 4. There would be no ignition to explode nothingness. No fire and no match. It could not be a chemical explosion, for no chemicals existed. It could not be a nuclear explosion, for there were no atoms. ATOMS. There is no way to expand it. Number 5. How can you expand what's not there? Even if that magical vacuum could somehow be pulled together by gravity, which there wasn't any, what would then cause the pile of emptiness to push outward? The gravity which brought it together would keep it from expanding, right? Nothingness cannot produce heat. Number 6. The intense heat caused by the exploding nothingness is said to have changed the nothingness into protons, neutrons, and electrons. First, an empty vacuum in the extreme cold of outer space cannot get hot by itself. Second, an empty void cannot magically change itself into matter. And third, there can be no heat without an energy source. All this stuff makes sense to me. I don't know about you guys. Number 7, the calculations are too exacting. Too perfect an explosion would be required. On many points, the theoretical mathematical calculations needed to turn a Big Bang into stars and our planet cannot be worked out. In others, they are too exacting. Knowledgeable scientists call them too perfect, in quotes. Mathematical limitations would have to be met, which would be next to impossible to achieve. The limits for success are simply just too narrow. Most aspects of the theory are impossible, and some require parameters that would require miracles to fulfill. One example of this is the expansion of the original fireball from the Big Bang, which they place precisely within the narrowest of limits. I was just watching, I started watching Angels and Demons earlier today on Apple TV. It's by Dan Brown. Tom Hanks plays the role of Robert Langdon. I love those movies from Dan Brown, especially Da Vinci Code. It's one of my all-time favorites. Angels and Demons is actually a very good story as well. Very great story. But anyways, of course, if y'all seen it, they show the lab from CERN, CERN, over in wherever they're at. And supposedly they've discovered a way to form antimatter, or to form the the man particle or something like that. And supposedly they've created keyword, they've created matter, but it has a very bad outcome to it, that if it touches any other matter, But here's the thing too, because there's believers that truly, wholeheartedly believe that they've created something out of nothing. That is how I'm using this in comparison to CERN. Okay. Now the thing is, CERN scientists, even though I'm not saying anything bad about them, have used what's already here on Earth. They've used all the elements, I'm assuming, safely assuming, to make a building. They use water, they use concrete, they use cement, they use blocks. They used all the elements available for us here on Earth. And then they used all these alloys, aluminum, bronze, brass, metal, whatever else to make that big machine. It's pretty cool stuff. I like watching videos of that kind of thing on YouTube every now and then. But anyways, so yeah, they've already used something that's already here on Earth to make that particle. And they have control over it, okay? But I'm only assuming they're trying to prove these theories to say, look, see, we can create matter too. It's already here on Earth. It's in the air. We have these molecules. We have these fine particles, fine dust particles in the air. We don't know for sure if they did or not. It's like it says here, when it has never been seen. You're not there at the CERN lab to tell me, Oli, they really did. Look, it just unevaporized into thin air, or into what would you call it? Right before our eyes. Okay, whatever. But CERN is not gonna make me believe that the evolutionary theory, that all this that we have in the Earth and the universe today came out of an explosion. Okay, I don't believe in that. Let's remember what our Bibles say, that Yahweh, in the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth and everything that is in it. So who are you going to believe, people? All right. Okay, now it says, we will now assume that, contrary to physical laws, the particles magically did manage to move toward one another, and two, the particles could slow down and change directions. This is kind of like what's going on in that story of angels and demons with that CERN experiment that they're doing. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It says here, I think that was it. Now I'll keep reading just a few of these, just to give you guys a heads up. That's all I'm doing, okay? I'm not about to sit here and read to you all this book, but I am going to read parts and pieces of it, thumb through it. And if I find something that comes to mind in regards to something that we're all studying as far as religion goes, I'll bring it out, okay? The theory. Gradually, the outward racing particles are said to have begun circling one another, forming atoms. These atoms then change direction further, this time toward one another, and formed gas clouds, which then push together into stars. This aspect of the stellar evolution theory is as strange as that which preceded it. 1. Gas molecules in outer space are widely separated. By gas, we mean atoms of hydrogen and or helium which are separated from one another. All gas in outer space has a density so rarefied that it is far less than the emptiest atmospheric vacuum pressure bottle in any laboratory in the world. Gas in outer space is rarer, less dense, atoms more separated than anything on Earth. Number 2, neither hydrogen nor helium in outer space would clump together. There's nothing there, right? So how can nothing just compact together and go boom? Doesn't make any sense. In fact, there is no gas on Earth that clumps together either. Gas pushes apart, it does not push together or pull together, right? Now, let me tell you something to give you an idea for those of you who may not know what's being said here. It says gas pushes apart. It does not push together. Most liquids, this is from my little bit of knowledge that I have as far as liquids go. I do. Whenever y'all remember seeing Terminator 2, right? When the Terminator shoots, when Schwarzenegger shoots Robert Patrick and he bursts into a lot of pieces, right? Okay, even though it's liquid metal, you can see, it's a camera effect, okay? But you can see where those things come back together and they form Robert Patrick all over again, right? Okay. But there's no force to do that in real life. You can throw mercury here on the table and it will not by itself do this. If you pour water on a table, it does not have a force to do this either. Okay? The only action that I can explain to you right now is that when these liquids eventually come together, because there might be a slope or something, it's called capillary action, which causes the liquids to join, if that's the proper terminology. I don't want to misguide y'all in what I'm trying to say to y'all, okay? But that is what that is referring to. There is nothing there to push these supposed atoms or gases together. There's nothing there. Okay, look that up, people. Like I said, do your own research. You don't have to take my word for Separated atoms of hydrogen and or helium would be even less likely to clump together in outer space. We will now assume that the outward moving, extremely fast, ever separating atoms shot out by the Big Bang explosion could slow, change direction, and form themselves into immense clouds. Look up on YouTube when you're done watching this video, or by now you probably just rolled your eyes, but look up, I can't remember his name, but there was a guy I saw a few months back when I was still at home rest in my hometown with my mom. This guy got some kind of like a Nobel Prize or something, because he said something like maybe the Big Bang explosion isn't necessarily a beginning of a new universe. Maybe it was the end of another one. I was like, okay, okay. Wow, I actually like that response. I was like, could be, right? We have all these scientists, all these astrologers nowadays. That that's a big no-no, of course, because the law of Moshe prohibits astrology. But it's like they say, it's like a new beginning. I think it's Angels and Demons and Da Vinci Code and these other movies that describe how Aztecs have used, the calendar, and that when it gets to the sign of whatever, it's like a renewing, something like that. I don't know. So, that's what I'm coming up with right now on the spot as far as what that guy was saying about this Big Bang explosion. Was that it may not necessarily be a new beginning, but the end of another universe. I don't know. Just saying. My mind has served its purpose. My memory, that is. Gas clouds push themselves into stars. Because gas in outer space does not clump, the gas could not build enough mutual gravity to bring it together. And if it cannot clump together, it cannot form itself into stars. The idea of gas pushing itself together in outer space to form stars is more scienceless fiction. Fog, whether on Earth or in space, cannot push itself into balls. Once together, a star maintains its gravity quite well, but there is no way for nature to produce one. Getting it together in the first place is the problem. Gas floating in a vacuum cannot form itself into stars. Once a star exists, it will absorb gas into it by gravitational attraction. But before the star exists, gas will not push itself together and form a star or a planet or anything else. Since both hydrogen and helium are gases, they are good at spreading out, but not at clumping together. And I would think if it's in a vacuum, it'd be pulling away from it. But at the same time, in this vacuum, right, these things cannot be doing this because they both be doing that. So, that's just the way I understand the vacuum, how a vacuum works. Careful analysis has revealed that there is not enough matter in gas clouds to produce stars. There would not be enough time for the gas to reach the currently known expanse of the universe so it could form itself into stars. Evolutionists tell us that the Big Bang occurred 10 to 15 billion years ago and stars were formed 5 billion years later. They only allow about 2.5 billion years for it to clump together into stars. Their dating problem has been caused by the discovery of supposedly faraway quasars, which we will discuss later, some of which are dated at 15 billion light years, since they have a redshift of 400%. That would make them 15 billion years old, which is too old to accommodate the theory. It doesn't take a nuclear scientist to figure out the math in this paragraph. Simple arithmetic will tell you there is not enough time. And you would think, right? It says it further in here somewhere that if the universe is that old, which I don't think a mind could even come close to comprehend that far back a length of time. But if the universe, we'll have to find out, like it says here, notice. It says evolutionists tell us that the Big Bang occurred 10 to 15 billion years ago and stars were formed 5 billion years later. So let's round it off to 15 billion years ago, and then the stars were formed at 10 billion BC or whatever, right? Now, we'd have to find, like it says here, it doesn't take a scientist to figure out the math. So okay, so now we have to figure out when black holes were created. Now, if the universe is this old, like these scientists claim, wouldn't we've already gone into these black holes and ended up somewhere else, wormholes or whatever, right? Wouldn't we? Can't believe anything NASA shows you on TV, especially on TV. But supposedly these black holes are taking in all these stars and all these quasars and all these gases, but we're still here. We're still seeing the same constellations that have been out there for 15 billion years. So yeah, again, it just doesn't make any sense to me. All right. Where was I at? Okay. I like this book. This is very informative. In this book, I found this little bug called the bombardier beetle. That sucker was very cool. Anyways, gas clouds in outer space expand, they do not contract. Yet they would have to contract to form anything. Any one of these points alone is enough to eliminate the stellar evolution theory. Number 5, if the Big Bang theory were true, instead of a universe of stars, there would only be an outer rim of fast-moving matter. I'll buy that. Excuse me. The outwardly flowing matter and our gas clouds would keep moving outward without ever slowing. Excuse me. In frictionless space, with no matter ahead of it to collide with, the supposed matter from the initial explosion would keep moving outward forever. This fact is as solid as the ones mentioned earlier. Number 6, in order for the gas to produce stars, it would have to move in several directions. First, it would have to stop flowing outward. Then it would have to begin moving in circles. Stellar origin theories generally require rotating gas, right? Then the rotating gas would have to move closer together, but there would be nothing to induce these motions. The atoms from the supposed Big Bang should just keep rushing outward forever. Linear motion would have to mysteriously change to angular momentum. I sound like one of those nerds in Revenge of the Nerds, huh? Funny. I love those movies. I think I have both of them on Hulu or something like that. A quantity of gas moving in the same direction in frictionless space is too stable to do anything but keep moving forward. Gas in outer space, which was circling a common center, would fly apart, not condense together. Right? Because supposedly they're still moving outward forever and ever and ever. There is not enough mass in the universe for the various theories of origin of matter and stars. The total mean density of matter in the universe is about 100 times less than the amount required by the Big Bang theory. The universe has a low mean density. To put it another way, there is not enough matter in the universe. This missing mass problem is a major hurdle, not only to the Big Bang enthusiasts, but also to the expanded universe theorists. Okay? This is from P.V. Rizzo, Review of Mysteries of the Universe. Sky and Telescope, August 1982, page 150. Astronomers are agreed on the existence of this problem. Hoyle, for example, Hoyle, says that without enough mass in the universe, it would not have been possible for gas to change into stars. And that's the problem with theory. Theory is like a lump of clay. You can mold it however you want, and other theorists will just go along with you, I guess. I don't know. I've never understood E equals MC squared. These are the things, people, I don't worry about. Okay? It doesn't change my life. It doesn't change my eating habits. Even if I had political views, it doesn't change my political views. It doesn't change my religious belief, per se. I hate to use that word, but my belief, period. Okay? But yet there's people out there trying to figure out the mysteries of the universe. For what? What are you going to gain? I wouldn't. I can say clearly now that I think about it is that you can't really deceive people with theories. You can, but you really can't. If that makes any sense. The funny thing is, I know it's a whole different subject, but there's theory in a lot of things that we do, right? Mechanics. I guess I don't know. I've never really looked into it, but theory works for guitar playing. Okay, it's it's kind of like limitless as far as the chords, not notes but chords that you can put together, condense together, and it's really weird that theory actually works for music, but it doesn't fit a lot of these things we're talking about here in this book. It's very cool. But anyways, people, I wouldn't lose sleep over this kind of stuff. Okay. So this is from F. Hoyle and T. Gold, quoted in D.B. Larson, Universe in Motion, from 1984, page 8. Quote, attempts to explain both the expansion of the universe and the condensation of galaxies must be largely contradictory so long as gravitation is the only force field under consideration. For if the expansive kinetic energy of matter is adequate to give universal expansion against the gravitational field, it is adequate to prevent local condensation under gravity and vice versa. That is why, essentially, the formation of galaxies is passed over with little comment in most systems of cosmology. End quote. Number 10. Hydrogen gas in outer space does not clump together. Does not clump. Not Trump. Does not clump together. Horowitz research disproves the possibility that hydrogen gas in outer space can clump together. Excuse me. This is a major breakthrough in disproving the Big Bang and related origin of matter and stars theories. The problem is too low. There is nothing to attract the particles of matter in outer space to stick to one another. Think about it for a minute. Don't these facts make sense? They do to me. It's like I was saying right now a few minutes ago. There was nothing, I was gonna say out there, but there was nothing, and all of a sudden nothing clumped together and nothing exploded into nothing. When I hear people, if you're saying stuff like, but this, you're trying to justify these theories and you're not going to convince me at all because they're theories. Okay? It's just like an opinion. Okay? Well, I really think the mark of the beast is a microchip. That is a theory, that is an opinion. And in most cases, when it comes to religion, those two statements are actually false. Because the Bible doesn't say it's a microchip at all. Okay, so because people make up these opinions, since they're scientists, they probably just don't call them opinions, they probably just call them theories. It doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Okay, but like I said here earlier in the other pages, it does not take a scientist to figure out these calculations. Again, people, there was nothing compacted together, nothing supposedly compacted nothing together, and this nothing exploded into nothingness. And okay, it says this point is so important for it devastates the origin of stars theory that Harwood's research should be mentioned in more detail. I'll read a few more here, about 35 minutes. It says Harwood's research dealt with the mathematical likelihood that hydrogen atoms could stick together and form tiny grains of several atoms. From what, though, if there was nothing there? By the random sticking of interstellar atoms and molecules to a single nucleus as they passed by at a variable speed. Now, I would like for somebody to tell me at what speed did these things form. Using the most favorable conditions and the maximum possible sticking ability for grains, Harwood determined that the amount of time needed for gas or other particles to clump together into a size of just 100,000ths of a centimeter in radius would take about 3 billion years. Using more likely rates, 20 billion years will be required to produce one tiny grain of matter stuck together out in space. As with nearly all scientists quoted in our 1,326 page of Evolution Disproved series, which this book is condensed from, Harwood is not a creationist. This is from M. Harwood, Astrophysical Concepts, 1973, page 394. And here's the last one. Novotny's research findings are also very important. Novotny, in a book published by Oxford University, discusses the problem of gaseous dispersion. It is a physical law that gas in a vacuum expands instead of contracts. Therefore, it cannot form itself into stars, planets, etc., etc., etc. That which cannot happen given any amount of time because there's nothing there. Okay? These things, people do not have a mind of their own. It's just like doing this. Okay? I am not a scientist. I was a C&D student in school. I passed science because it was one of my favorite subjects, but it does not take a rocket scientist to figure these things out. Let's say for a fact, this space here you see within my hands is the universe, and we're waiting for that thing to explode to push itself together by using whatever's there, and we're gonna be here till the battery on my phone, loses its power. Okay, that's evolution for you. Again, if you truly wholeheartedly believe you evolved from a monkey, that is on you. I am not a monkey. Okay. If you agree, you are being scientific, for you are agreeing with scientific facts. If you disagree, you are fooling only yourself. We will now assume that the clouds formed themselves into what evolutionists call protostars or first-generation stars. I think I'm finally gonna read this whole book. Not right now, but I wanted to bring to y'all's attention my new book for more. I'm gonna probably get more videos out of this. Like I said, there's a lot more stuff that I still want to cover. And here's another one of my research books, Fox's Book of Martyrs. This is gonna be very cool to read. This was not mine. This was actually my uncle's ex-wife's, but I think I did mention that I still had it. I think she told me to keep it. And if I'm lying, I'm lying, but I'm pretty sure she said, don't worry about it, stay with it. So anyways, people, what did we learn? Theories. Theories. Just because it's a theory does not mean it's actually based on fact. Okay? I could give you my theories. Well, I probably can't because, like I said earlier, I don't lose sleep on this kind of stuff. Like, for instance, when I say I don't lose sleep, it's like me and my girl got back together. Just yesterday we confirmed it. And Sure, we have our little disputes, but like I told her, I said, baby, I'm not gonna lose sleep on little things like that. She and I were so much up here on the same level as far as reasoning goes, and we do not let those little things get in the way like most people would. Oh, it's the little things that matter. They don't have to. They don't have to. Just keep on moving forward, okay? Don't let those things people grow into something that shouldn't even be there. It shouldn't even expand, right? But anyways, so yeah, I mean, I don't lose sleep over this stuff. I was just filling out more applications today for work. Man, I filled out so many applications on Indeed.com. It's crazy, but I forgot where I was at already. Oh, but anyways, yeah. I don't let a lot of things trouble me, bother me. You just got to keep moving forward, you know. But anyways, so yeah, people, I completely lost myself totally. But anyways, I wanted to give you guys a heads up if you are, or if now you were an evolutionist. And those first few pages, I remember clearly reading when I first had that book, and then it was just kind of like, it sounds like a kid wrote that. So and even if a kid did, what makes you think, people, that we can't also come up with those kind of theories or facts? There was nothing there. There was nothing that supposedly pushed this nothingness and caused an explosion. There was no match, there was no gas, there was no ignition. Okay, like I said, I don't think we can memorize a lot of things. A lot of my statements I've read from other books, so I'm using them, but I can't remember exactly where I got them. But my memory up to date has still served its purpose for me putting these videos out and making such statements. Okay, it does not take a rocket scientist to figure out some of these biblical things I've been sharing with y'all, as well as some of these things as far as theory goes. Okay, you shouldn't let it bother you, people. You shouldn't let politics make you lose sleep. We were watching what was it, a movie or something? Me and my little sister, we were talking on the phone the other night, and there's people out there that's all they do. You know, they're at work all day, and you know, they get with their brothers or sisters or their friends, whatever. They go to the Starbucks cafe, drink coffee all night, and they talk about these things like, what's the length, on a flat plane from A to B in this cosmic. I mean, they just talk about the most randomest crap out there, and I'm like, I can't believe people dwell on that kind of stuff. It's crazy. My hobbies now, I've had some money. Like I said, I bought myself a metal detector. I'm not gonna lose sleep if I don't go tomorrow. When I have time, since I'm still not working, I may just pick up and go tomorrow or the next day. And me and my girl, since we got back together, I've already spent some good money, a great amount of money. We're gonna start doing our own business finally, the photography thing, and so got some new hobbies now. And even while I work or whatever, if I'm not here, if I'm truck driving, she'll be able to do it. Whatever, no big deal. If I'm not there, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it either. But she and I had our little dispute last night or the other night. She was here, and she says, "Oh, I can lose it a little bit sometimes." And I said, "Baby, I am not gonna lose sleep over this kind of stuff. Don't worry about it. Just keep moving forward." But anyways, people, like I said, I wanted to share that with y'all, and I will get you the notes. I give you my word for the next video on the parallels between Elijah and Yeshua. Okay, it's very cool stuff. Maybe I'll record myself on the camera so y'all can see the clarity. Man, I bought that EOS R6 Mark II Canon camera. Man, the clarity on those suckers is beautiful. Took some pictures last night out here by the street. I was standing almost to the street, and my girl was standing right here. And the pictures, because we bought that extra, that zooming lens, whatever it's called. Man, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. So anyways, it's very cool stuff. Maybe I'll record myself, like I said, and just transfer it either to my laptop or whatever. And I don't know, man. Gonna have some fun doing photo shoots, portraits, that kind of stuff. Get my photo shooting capabilities up there. And it's something both me and my girl love to do, so it makes it better. If you do something that you really like or you love doing, it makes it better. I enjoy doing my studies, and sometimes I guess I can say proving people wrong, but showing them the truth. Like I said, you all are still entitled to believe whatever you want. You're not here, especially you newcomers. I got like 2 or 3 this past couple of days. You're not here, people, newcomers, to believe what I believe. That's not what I'm here for. You have your own mind, and if you're a Latino or a Mexicano or a Hispanic, like they say, cada cabeza es un mundo. Every head is its own world. Okay? So you all are still entitled to believe whatever you want. Like I told y'all, if you claim to see Bigfoot, hey, you saw Bigfoot. If you saw La Llorona, you saw La Llorona. If you saw chupacabras, or if you saw, hey, that's on you guys. I'm not here to discredit y'all. I mean, whatever, And if you still want to believe in evolution, that's on you guys too, okay? So for you newcomers, again, you're not entitled to believe what I believe. I am just here sharing the House of Yahweh stuff, other stuff that I've encountered as well. Like I was telling about my revelation as far as Yahweh showing me that he is not God or a God in the book of Daniel, and sharing my books that I buy and help share these things with you. And when I'm done doing the next video of Elijah and Yeshua, I may jump over here to this book and share some of this stuff with you. It is very amazing book, beautiful. I loved it. So anyways, guys and gals and ghouls, I leave you with this one, and I hope you guys are having a great evening, as it's already 8:16 here in Del Rio. Okay. The comment section is open. Leave your comments, your questions, your opinions, your theories. Feel free to like and subscribe. We are at 600 views on that video of Yahweh and Yeshua's name being removed from the scriptures. Thanks to you guys and gals and ghouls. Okay. Until then, you all have a great evening, and I will see you all in the next video. Cheerio.